Hey guys, it's Destiny, and today we're going to be talking about the best Aglaea teams. And before we get into today's video, I would love to know if you guys are interested in pulling for Aglaea, or if you're actually potentially considering skipping her and for who. Lastly, if you enjoy videos like these, do consider subscribing and also leaving a like to support the video. And now let's get straight into it. I thought we can just begin with a quick overview of Aglaea as a character, which she is going to be a Lightning Remembrance character, and this will allow us now to acquire our secondary Remembrance character after Remembrance Trailblazer. When it comes to Aglaea's playstyle, she's going to be able to reach incredibly high speeds due to the Garment Maker's talent, which the Garment Maker is of course her memo sprite, and because of this, she is going to be able to attack very frequently as a result. And Aglaea will want to take advantage of her ultimate to enter Supreme Stance, as this will allow her to unleash a joint attack with the Garment Maker, which is essentially her enhanced basic attack, as this will definitely allow her to deal far more damage than her regular basic attacks. And ideally, she wants to retain Supreme Stance for as long as possible, since when she does go into Supreme Stance, she will be able to gain a massive attack boost thanks to one of her traces, but she will also be able to take advantage of the Garment Maker's speed stacks herself, which you can have up to 6 speed stacks, and every stack results in 15% more speed for Aglaea. So if you have all 6 stacks, Aglaea is now getting a 90% speed increase, which is why she's going to just get so incredibly fast within battle. And of course, to take advantage of this for as long as possible, that is why I'm mentioning you want to retain Supreme Stance, which is through her ultimate, as there will actually be a countdown, and once that countdown happens, Aglaea will actually exit the state due to the Garment Maker disappearing. And if the Garment Maker does disappear, you will have to work towards getting the maximum amount of speed stacks once again. So because of that, that's another reason why Supreme Stance is very important for a character like Aglaea. Now, there are a couple things to keep in mind though, which I've already gone over the countdown. Once that happens, the Garment Maker goes away, you'll have to work towards getting those speed stacks again, and of course resummoning the Garment Maker. But you can actually reset the countdown if you use Aglaea's ultimate again. The thing about that though is that Aglaea has a massive 350 energy cost. So because of that, you definitely want teammates that can help out with supplying her energy, since that will allow her to be able to use her ultimate again, and then of course reset the countdown on Supreme Stance, which means that she's going to be able to continuously use her enhanced basic attacks, keep those 6 speed stacks, and of course attack as frequently as she can within this state. So that's definitely some things to keep in mind when it comes to her as a character. As for her skill, for those of you who are wondering, her skill would just summon the Garment Maker if the Garment Maker is not already summoned, or her skill can actually heal the Garment Maker. But her main source of damage output will be her enhanced basic attack within Supreme Stance. And of course, the Garment Maker helps out as well, as the Garment Maker will attack any enemy afflicted with Seam Stitch. And the way to afflict Seam Stitch, whoever Aglaea targets will be afflicted with it, and that is who the Garment Maker will prioritize attacking, which the Garment Maker also does act independently. But that's just for a quick overview of her character. I will be showcasing her very soon, so do stay tuned for those videos. But now I thought let's actually go over Aglaea's team synergies that you could take advantage of. Alrighty, so here we are with Aglaea on the screen. We have this cute little chibi of her, and I thought we could go over some teams with her. Now, of course, I have already mentioned in her character overview that she definitely wants teammates that can help out with her energy. So 2 characters that can nicely help out with Aglaea's energy would consist of Sunday and Huohuo. I also have a little chibi of Gallagher here, but I can explain how Gallagher can also potentially help out. When it comes to Sunday and Huohuo, they are both able to give Aglaea a nice amount of energy with their ultimates. Sunday is going to be able to provide a character 20% of their maximum energy, which in Aglaea's case, since she has a 350 energy cost, this will actually result in 70 energy gained back. And when Huohuo uses her ultimate, she's able to give 20% of a character's energy, but she also does this for the entire team, so Sunday can actually nicely take advantage of this as well, so that he is able to get closer to using his ultimate. In the case of Huohuo though, since it is another 20%, this now results in once again 70 energy regained for Aglaea, which means with both of these characters on the team, just through their ultimates, you're able to get a whopping 140 energy back, which is why Sunday and Huohuo are 2 of Aglaea's best partners. Sunday of course provides amazing benefits on top of that, especially since Aglaea is focused more so on the hyper carry playstyle. When it comes to Sunday's benefits, he can provide crit rate, crit damage. He can also provide a massive damage boost, and he can also advance forward Aglaea as well as the Garment Maker, which once again is her Memo Sprite. So because of that, Sunday will be able to nicely synergize with Aglaea, provide her a bunch of the benefits that she would nicely want to take advantage of. For example, when it comes to the crit rate, let's say out of battle, you had about 80% crit rate. When it comes to Sunday, since he is able to provide a crit rate boost of 20%, this will now allow your Aglaea within battle to have 100% crit rate. So that's something to keep in mind. And of course, since Aglaea benefits from crit rate as well as crit damage, when it comes to crit damage, since Sunday is able to provide a massive amount of crit damage, this will be able to further help out Aglaea. And overall, he is just one of her best partners because of all the benefits that he is able to provide. And then of course, when it comes to Huohuo, as I mentioned, she does give the energy benefit. She is also able to give additional attack for the entire team with her ultimate. She's able to provide nice healing, nice cleansing. So Huohuo will be a nice option as well. And then of course, when it comes to Gallagher, now I thought I'd mention him in particular. This can apply for any abundance character, but let's say in the case of Gallagher, he can equip the light cone Quid Pro Quo, which is a free-to-play light cone. This will allow you to assist with regenerating energy for an ally whenever it is his turn. And due to him being able to act immediately again after using his ultimate, you could end up doing a basic attack, then use his ultimate, and now it's his turn again. So he can effectively have quite a bit of turns, especially if you are able to use his ultimate pretty frequently. So this can allow him to nicely take advantage of Quid Pro Quo to either give back energy to Aglaea herself, potentially Sunday, or even of course your other support on the team. Now when it comes to potentially picking a third for the team, this ultimately just comes down to which supports you have, but of course, a very nice option will be Remembrance Trailblazer, due to the fact that whenever Mem is fully charged, Mem will be able to advance forward an ally by 100% and also provide Mem's support for that character as well as their Memo Sprite if you have unlocked Trailblazer's E1. The Remembrance Trailblazer can be a very nice option, and just for a quick rotation example, let me just make that for you guys real quick. So real quick, here is a rotation example, and let me just explain this for you guys. Aglaea would end up attacking first. Now let's say it's perfectly timed to where Mem's charge is also now 100%. What Mem can do is advance forward Aglaea once again, which now of course you have Mem's support on Aglaea for numerous turns. And as you guys can see, Aglaea is going right before Sunday's turn comes up. So just trying to ensure that you time Mem's charge so that Aglaea is able to attack right before Sunday comes up. And after Aglaea attacks once again, now it's Sunday, you can once again advance forward Aglaea as well as the Garment Maker. And now as you guys can see, she basically attacked 3 times in a row with the advance forward from Mem, and then of course the advance forward from Sunday. Now of course you can do this a little bit differently, so let's say I'm just going to make Sunday a little smaller here. Overall, you can consider a rotation like this, which will effectively allow Aglaea once again to attack 3 times in a row. So as a result, this can be a very nice synergy here for Aglaea. And of course, if you don't feel like using Remembrance Trailblazer, or if they're already on one of your other teams, you can also consider using Robin. She's a nice option as well, as Robin will be able to, of course, advance forward the entire team by 100%, which this does include Aglaea's Memo Sprite, by the way. So she'll be able to advance forward Aglaea as well as the Garment Maker, and also, of course, advance forward the other allies on the team, which can allow you to potentially get a bit more energy before a cycle ends, or even, of course, if you decide to use Robin's ultimate earlier into the cycle, you'll be able to immediately take advantage of her massive attack boost, and of course the other buffs that she is able to provide as well. Another perk can be, of course, if you use Robin's ultimate and Aglaea goes before Sunday, now you can effectively advance forward Aglaea once again with Sunday. Overall, this is also a very strong team possibility, and what's really nice about this particular team is just the fact that Huohuo is able to regenerate energy for the whole team. This can assist with Robin's ultimate. Aglaea is going to be able to attack very frequently, which can nicely assist with regenerating energy for Robin to be able to have a nice amount of energy ready to go once she exits her ultimate. Now, of course, let's say you didn't have Sunday, since I know some players will not have Sunday. And I will say just right off the bat that Sunday is definitely one of her best partners. That is definitely something to keep in mind, but let's say you didn't have Sunday. You can potentially consider using a team like this where you have Remembrance Trailblazer, you have Robin, and then you have Huohuo, for example. I thought though we can potentially go over just a couple more options that you can maybe consider. So there is of course Tingyun, and now the thing is with Tingyun that I definitely have to mention is that her attack buff will run out pretty quick on Aglaea, which kind of is unfortunate, and I am of course referring to Tingyun's skill here because Aglaea will be able to attack so frequently that the buff will run out pretty fast, but the main reason Tingyun is here is because of the energy she's going to be able to provide Aglaea with her ultimate. So that is going to be Tingyun's main purpose, is essentially going to be able to assist with funneling more energy to Aglaea here. You can also consider using a team like this where you have Sunday, Bronya, and then Huohuo or Gallagher once again. And of course, Bronya will enable Aglaea to attack a bit more frequently as well. There is of course Ruame just for her team-wide buffs. This will be able to further buff Aglaea here. You can consider Pela for the AoE defense reduction she can inflict onto enemies. That could be an option. But honestly, if you are looking for a budget-friendly option when it comes to Aglaea in particular, I would mainly recommend just taking a look at Remembrance Trailblazer just because of what they're able to provide. And of course, the rotation example that I provided earlier. But overall, I would say when it comes to team building with Aglaea, now of course, we'll have to see just the variety of her teams once she is nearing her release. And I am still experimenting with teams myself. However, I will say that due to her massive energy cost once again, taking advantage of characters that are able to help with providing her energy will be very important when it just comes to her playstyle. More than likely see Sunday and Huohuo on a lot of teams, just because of how much energy both of them will be able to provide Aglaea here, and assist with also of course retaining Supreme Stance. As a result, these two are just excellent options to use alongside her. And of course, if you once again need a budget option, you can use Remembrance Trailblazer here. And if you don't have Huohuo, you can once again try out Gallagher with Quid Pro Quo. He'll still be able to help out a bit, so that's also an option as I mentioned earlier. But once again, yeah, when it comes to the variety, we'll just kind of have to wait and see. But through my own testing, he definitely takes advantage of very specific partners or specific buffs in particular very nicely, which once again, the energy is a huge contributor to this. Overall though, I would love to know what Aglaea teams that you guys have been thinking of. And of course, if you have any showcase suggestions, I am all for them. I can end up trying them out on my end, see how they function. And then I will try my best to release an Aglaea review right before she comes out. Just experimenting with her signature light cone, experimenting with not using a signature light cone. How does she end up doing without that? And then of course, trying out alternative team members as well, just to see how much her performance differs as a result. If there's anything in particular you would like me to test as well in anticipation for the review, I can try my best to include that in the video, or if you have any particular questions. But yeah, that'll be it for today's video. Once again, I'd love to know what Aglaea teams you guys are theory crafting yourselves. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, do make sure to subscribe, leave a like to support the video, and I hope to see you all next time. Peace.